in the back corner when I'm not presenting.
Listening in.
And listen in.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Bash University Live here on Tuesday night.
Take a quick break. Watch John Cruz's on the Tokyo rig.
Be a part of the show. Get some chances to win some awesome prizes.
This Bash U go. You know, we didn't have that back then. And dude, it could just...
That text thread gives me so much energy. I mean, like I'm dialed.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Bash University Live. It's good to be back in studio. So much has been going on in the fishing world. It's been great. Back from ICAST. I know we had a great ICAST show. Big shout out to Ken Duke for sitting in as the host for that show last week. That was pretty awesome. GDP as well. He's getting ready. GDP, I guess, is getting mobile, as is Ike, getting ready to head out to Hawaii. To
Hawaii.
You know how you say that lake out there in Wisconsin? Hawaii. Oh, but
Hawaii.
It might as well be Hawaii. It's like 2,500 or 2,500 miles away.
It's the other side of the world.
It's seemingly giant lake, but yeah, that's the next elite that's going on right now. Of course, right now going on the MLF, the Bass Pro Tour, is happening on one of my favorite lakes on the planet, Lake Cayuga, which is really showing out. Did you guys get a glimpse of any of that stuff?
I haven't had a chance to tune in much on it yet, Pete, but, I mean, Cayuga, it's an absolute fish factory. We know that, so no surprises there that these guys are going to catch the big weights. It's be exciting to watch.
Yeah, it's amazing. I know Justin Lucas, great Bash U instructor, is going toe-to-toe with
Lee.
No, Jacob. Of course, Jacob, the one of the hottest guys in fishing, obviously, and he took him down surprisingly for the qualifying round. It's not over, right? But obviously Jacob's going to continue to compete. But the weights they're massive, and the fish are just amazing. One of my favorite places, and I just want to give you guys a little teaser. I spent last week with Gray Buck, who is fishing the MLF Pro Tour, Bass Open winner, Classic qualifier, Aqua-Vu Pro. And we spent some time out on Lake Ontario with the Aqua-Vu camera. Really fascinating stuff. We're going to be letting out some stuff on social as well as some tutorial stuff, teaching us how he uses it. And really, after spending some time with it myself, I got my eyes open on how I really need to be using it.
Yeah, how about a little teaser on that, Pete? Like, I need an example.
Here's an example. He dropped the camera, and we're working down a shelf in about I don't know, maybe 20 feet of water, 25 feet of water. And what happens is how he applies it with the troll fin, the fish start becoming curious to it. So and it starts pulling fish out that you can't pick off with your sonar. Right. You're seeing them. And these little baby smallmouth, they'll get into the camera and they're checking it out, and you'll see gobies and bigger fish, the big smallmouth, start popping into the frame, and it almost acts as a fish attractor.
Yeah.
And it pulls those fish that may have been belly down next to a rock that you couldn't isolate with your sonar, brings it up to where you can visually see it.
Right. Identify that they're down there.
Not only that, right? You're looking at big boulders. One of the important things is what's the bottom look like? Well, you can see the boulders that are clean and washed by current versus boulders that are moss covered, right? Big difference
Right.
in that fishing pattern, you know?
Fishability, fishing pattern, yeah.
Yeah, and those are just some of the stuff, and it's super simplistic and really, really cool stuff. So you're going to want to look for that dropping on Bass University TV just about as soon as we can get it edited and brought out to you guys. Amongst a bunch of other forward-facing, he's really advanced using his forward-facing sonar and his strategies for that. Are pretty amazing. So shout out to Gray Buck, man. It was great hanging out with you, but I think you got me sick, man. You know, come on. I don't know what's going on. You can I'm sure you can hear it in my voice.
I think it's just from you guys screaming so much, catching those giant smallmouth up there on Ontario.
Let me tell you something. I'm it's a really cool gig. I'm not complaining. I love being there to produce a lot of this content and watch it go down, but a lot of times most of the time, 99% of the time, you're sitting there in the driver's seat or the passenger seat,
right,
and you're watching.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, he had a smallmouth that didn't get caught, but he set on this fish, and it was like, from me to the camera, it's like you could touch it, and I'm sitting there, it's eye level, completely out of the water. Just a hulking giant of a smallmouth, man, with the neck fat, the big belly, you know, and of course he hits. He lands right by me, gets me wet. When he landed, splashed me, and
other boats can hear it from the other side of the lake when it lands. You know, the splash.
It was that kind, exactly that kind, and he bolted down and caught his rub rail.
Oh,
and pow, and snapped that fish off. But it was a monster, and it was a really giant fish. And of course, the state record 8.6 or something was caught, and of course we had to bust his chops. And I think that was probably 8 3/4,
probably
maybe 9, maybe 9 pounds.
Could have been,
could have been, could have been another state record. But
was it really that big?
It was giant.
Wow,
it was big. We put one on the scale that was 5.56, and it was bigger than that.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, obviously bigger than that. Hulking, giant. Great show, guys. We're going to be talking about college fishing. It's taken on the fishing world by storm. The kids like Jordan Lee, Dustin Cannell, Jacob. Did Jacob was on a college program? I can't remember, but I know Cannell was. So many of these super talented anglers have gone to great schools, great fishing programs, and now are dominating, winning at the tour level. So there's so much to talk about here, and we've got Rick Emmitt, who is from Drury University in Springfield, Missouri. He's the head coach of the fishing team out there. Been in the fishing industry for a long time, and we're going to be talking to him. And the floor is open. Whatever questions you may have, if you're a high schooler that is looking at colleges, wanting to consider going to a school and joining their fishing team, man, this is a must-watch for you. I'm interested in how the coach prepares the kids, how he practices the kids, how he's helping these kids take their fishing to the next level. Talking about stuff like I want to dive in a little bit to the forward-facing sonar thing. It seems like the younger generation is taken to it like a fish to water, no pun intended. But they're so much more advanced. It's such an easier transition. It seems the younger generation to the forward-facing sonar. Sure. What is he seeing with his kids? And scholarships. Are there really fishing scholarships out there? I mean, I can't imagine having a fishing scholarship available when I was going to school. So this is what we're talking about college fishing with Rick Emmitt. So
did you have one of those desks, the single seat desk you slide in, and it like the classroom was just the entire grade sat in one classroom?
When I went to college? Yeah.
It was just like a single, A-frame building.
No, I wasn't. I mean, you're talking about the 1800s?
Yeah, the inkwell.
When I went to college, I could tell you this: my fishing program consisted of a Minn Kota trolling motor, 17-pound thrust that I hit under. I was on the bottom bunk in my dorm, and I slid that under there. I had a 12-volt trolling motor or battery that I had in there, and then I had a battery charger. And right down the street, Lake Netcong. You know Lake Netcong? It's right by Lake Apacong.
Right.
It's a little lake full of milfoil grass, but they rented john boats.
They had milfoil back then?
You brought the trolling motor. You brought the trolling motor to school.
I brought the trolling motor to school and the battery.
That's
and whenever I could scrape together $20, which was not often, I would go down and I could rent a john boat for a day.
Yeah.
Lock that little trolling motor on there, and I'd go fishing. It's one to play. I learned how to flip a jig.
Yeah.
On that little Lake Netcong.
Mine was I forget it was 8 foot or 10 foot, but it was a small tin boat. You know, I always call them like bathtub, like they're just shaped like a bathtub. You know, but I just kept it in the back of my truck all the time.
Oh, nice.
When I was at school, I'd show up to baseball practice with the john boat hanging out of the back of the truck. You know, and any free time, go drop in at the lake right down the street from school, and that was it. You know,
that was it.
Simplicity.
My first one was a raft.
Yeah,
I had a raft.
Yeah,
and inflatable.
I built a floorboard for it and a board in the back to strap a motor to.
Yeah,
and my mom strapped it on the roof of the Dodge Omni, which is about the most hideous car you could ever imagine. This little, it kind of looks like a Volkswagen Beetle-ish kind of shape. It was silver with a roof rack. It was horrific, embarrassing. With a raft tied on the front, and then it would like fold in half going down the road. Yeah,
love it.
That's how we got started.
Yeah,
whatever you got to do to get out there,
man. Right. you know you've got it. You know you got the love and the passion when you're willing to endure that.
To look a fool.
To get out to look a fool. I showed up on campus with a 72 Chevy flatbed farm truck. But it had a hitch and it could tow my first boat, and it was an embarrassment to drive around.
Hey,
but it got my boat to the water, and that's all I cared about.
Some of the best guys I know fishing now still today used to show up to the ramps in minivans and everything. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing more humbling than getting spanked by a guy who dropped his boat in with a purple minivan. So, and if you're watching, you know who I'm talking about.
Or Vegas beat the entire field last week's Thursday night.
I heard that, man.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. I would like a little recap on that. Did you get any insight from Mike in Vegas on that?
Well, I mean, they were fishing as a team.
Yeah.
But Mike Vegas was still riding that high from fishing the junior championship down in Tennessee, I believe.
Yep.
So he wanted to get him back out there again while he was feeling it. And it was at the DOD. Mike took them to where they were going to fish, which is electric only lake.
Yep.
But he let Vegas take the trolling motor from there.
Sure.
And he's looking at them, dropping on them, and that's how he caught him.
He caught a big one too, right?
Yeah, he caught a 4.5 pounder.
What?
That's a big one.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Go Vegas.
Yeah, Mike caught a bluegill that night.
Nice.
Yeah.
Giant one though.
Yeah, but Vegas caught all the weight in their bag and they won.
That's pretty cool.
That is awesome.
Yep. And I did a burnout out of the parking lot. Kicking rocks everywhere.
Well, I know I'm thrilled. My son Jake is got the bug in fishing a little bit. And we fished our first tournament together a few weeks ago, and he's been bugging me, and I love that he's bugging me. Dad, we need to go again. Let's go fishing again, and we've got big plans.
That's awesome.
Up on Thousand Islands, where we're going to take a few days and go fishing together. So I'm psyched about that. Maybe he'll want to get on a fishing team, a college fishing team, one day. I hope so.
Yeah, maybe he could start one. Where will he go? Lenape?
He'll go to Lenape.
Yeah, maybe he could start one. I'd imagine there's quite a plethora of anglers coming through that district.
I know a coach.
Yeah,
I know a coach that might step up and coach that team if he decided to get one started.
There we go.
We'll help him out. Great show. We are visiting you from TackleDirect Studios. So much going on. Make sure you go over to check out TackleDirect.
For sure.
I want to just give them a little shout out. If you're a Shimano guy, TackleDirect is the Shimano capital of the world. So whatever you're looking for in that real category, get over there and TackleDirect has it over there. So go ahead and get that checked out.
Fast, reliable shipping too. Speaking of TackleDirect, my dad stopped in there. last week he stopped in there and they took good care of him. He, did a little name dropping and they took care of him in
Way
there.
to go, Dad.
Yeah. Yeah. But nah, guys, check out TackleDirect. They really are good. I can't tell you how many times just in the stint that we've been working with them, they've gotten me out of the pinch where, you get on something and you're like, oh, my God, I have one of these. I have one worm left, and they get it to your door the next morning. So it's really, really a good place to go.
And we've got so much going on tonight.
And the pricing is pretty darn good.
The pricing is second to none. And the pricing at Bash University is good. This is a time, it's back to school. Let's go. It's we have a special 6-month subscription rate that we've rolled out, and everybody seems to like it, which is great because it's $49.99 for a 6-month subscription to come and learn everything from the greatest pros in the world. Comes with a $25 coupon to TackleDirect. Can't beat it. It's a great way to get involved. If you've been wanting to get involved, now is the time to get over to bashu.tv and get yourself signed up. We've also got some contests going on today. Rich, what do we got going on?
As always, we have a grand prize going out the door. That's going to go to a Bash U TV member. So if you're not a member, now's a great time to get signed up. Use the code BULive30. That code is available anytime, whether you're watching now, whether you're listening later. Use the code BULive30. You're going to get 30 days free to the entire program. Try everything out. But we have a grand prize going out the door. It's a Rapala pack. We got a Rapala hat in there, an Aqua-Vu hat in there, some pliers, some terminal gear, some hooks, some crankbaits, all kinds of good stuff, guys. That's a $75 prize pack going out for the grand prize. That's going to be a trivia question that we're going to roll out at the end of the show. And also, if you're watching on Facebook, we're going to hook you up too. Be sure to like and share tonight's feed, and you're going to be entered in for a chance to win a 6-month Bash University TV subscription. So if you're watching on Facebook, like and share the feed. You'll get entered in for a chance to win. Guys, as always, we have our message board open. We want to hear from you. And like Pete said, now's a great time to get signed up. Try it. Get over here. Ask us some questions during today's show and get access to the whole program. You can use the free trial. You can sign up for 6 months for $49.99, or you can grab a gift card right now that are at some awesome back-to-school deals as well. You can get a 12-month gift card right now for just $99, Pete. That is a fantastic deal. If you know somebody else in your family who wants to get involved and you think they might be able to learn some more about fishing, get them a gift card.
And this breaking news just in, tonight's guest, the coach of Drury University, if you sign up for a full year of the Bass University, you get a
free ride to Drury University.
Free ride to Drury.
Yeah.
It's
Full ride.
all expenses paid. Boat and truck. That's right, folks. You heard it here first.
We'll help you earn your way into Drury University, right? No handouts.
It's easy.
No handouts. It's earned.
Sorry, what was that? We stepped on, right?
Oops.
You're not going to finish?
Yeah, no, I think I did.
Okay.
Full ride, yep. Pete said it.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if that's true.
Clearly, it was a joke.
Yeah, we got Rick Emmitt coming on here from Drury University, the head coach, and look forward to talking to him. Guys, it's going to be a great show. Get all your questions together. Whatever you guys want to talk about, get them over on the IM board, and we'll get you guys put through. So,
Yep.
Ready?
Questions
for
already coming in. Yep.
Awesome.
All right. See you guys in a minute.
Take a quick commercial break, guys. See you right after this.
BassBoatForSale.com is the world's premier bass boat listings business. We focus on driving premium web traffic to our main website, business Facebook page, business Instagram, and our business YouTube channel, providing your bass boat listings the best buying traffic and top-notch exposure. Whether you need to sell your bass boat or are looking to buy a bass boat, it's simple. We give boats exposure so buyers shop and sellers list. One-time listing fee, no commission, and boats list until they sell. BassBoatForSale.com. Check it out.
Aqua-Vu, the leader in underwater viewing technology. Find what you are looking for. Catch more fish. Have more fun. Aqua-Vu. Seeing is believing.
Why do you love casting fishing rods?
I'm truly losing less fish.
Is the sensitivity of the rod.
That they're made right here in North Carolina in the USA. Strongest, lightest rod, 100% made here in Sanford, North Carolina.
From the drop shot rod to the flipping stick. Every rod has a purpose to it, and I rely on them all the time when I'm out doing a tournament.
Durability in the John Cruz Worming series, the counterbalancing in the handle.
It's the only rod I found that can withstand my hook set. Boom goes the dynamite.
On the water not spent fishing is a moment wasted. That's why Minn Kota and Humminbird have joined forces to bring you the One Boat Network. Products that communicate and integrate to help you take full command of your boat. Born from our commitment to making the most advanced fishing gear even better by making it work together. The One Boat Network will help you find, get to, stay on, and catch more fish. When One Boat Network products talk to each other, they can navigate your boat automatically. They can give you a crystal clear view of what's below with no messy wires. And they can let you lower, raise, and change shallow water anchor modes from anywhere on the boat. But that's just the beginning. We're never done innovating, integrating, and making your boat simpler and easier to control. All so you can make every second on the water count.
Welcome back to Bass University Live, everybody. Really excited about today's show. It's going to be an eye-opener, I think, for a lot of people. We want to learn a little bit more about what's going on in the college fishing world because these kids are crushing it out on the Pro Tour, and it's pretty awesome, So, without any further ado, BTC, I think we just let's get Rick Emmitt in. He is the head coach of Drury University in Springfield, Missouri, a veteran in the sport of fishing, and we're really excited to have him with us today. Rick, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
Man, we're great. We're glad you could make it in to talk to us because we've got a bunch of questions. We're really curious about what's going on in the college fishing world. Are you calling us from the university?
I am. I'm in my office right now. So
awesome. Is it a busy time of year for the college coach? I mean, I guess you got a whole new crop of kids coming in.
We do. We've got 18 new freshmen coming in on top of 12 returning. So I'm going to have the biggest squad I've ever had. It's been my office phone's ringing now. Hold on. Yeah, it's been. This has been quite the summer for me. June 2nd, I had a detached retina, and I had surgery for that. So I'm just now, I still have a gas bubble in my eye, and I can't see very well. So it's just now where I've been able to come into the office the last couple of weeks. So I've really been battling that. But during my downtime, I was recruiting some new sponsors and talking to some junior or seniors to be about next year. So yeah, I'm constantly recruiting and looking for sponsors and all that. So I stay pretty busy even during the summer when school's out.
Yeah, I bet it sounds like a really busy scenario. What is the recruitment process look like? I mean, we all watch, right, the NFL and, the scouts out looking at these kids. And what is that like for a guy in your position? Are you a scout? Do you go out and watch these kids compete in local tournaments? What does this look like?
Well, I do. I go to our Missouri high school tournaments. Of course, I'm not able to go across the country, but it's very similar to, like, say, basketball would be. I pay attention to the high school tournaments and the championships around the country, and look at the winners. There's a website NSR profile that you can set up a profile for a high school angler, and it gets you can put your stats on there, and your aspirations of being a pro angler or fishing college or whatever, and it gives college coaches the ability to look at the profiles and get in touch with people that I wouldn't have the chance to do that being here in Missouri. When I first started the program, I was just pretty much recruiting Missouri and Arkansas and Oklahoma anglers. Now, as we've had success, I'm able to recruit across the country. I actually have anglers reach out to me now with the success our program has. Bassmaster also last year started a combine similar to like a combine for football, where they had a casting contest and knot tying contests and things like that. So it gave the coaches an opportunity to meet anglers from all across the country. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to go to that this year. It conflicts with another tournament that we're having. But yeah, just these anglers have social media accounts that I'll look at. I'll look at the Bassmaster high school All-Americans and All-State and reach out to them. So just constantly looking online and making contacts there. I have other high school coaches that I know that contact me. So yeah, it's just pretty much like any other sport as far as recruiting goes.
Man, you just opened my eyes. I didn't realize a lot of this was happening. A lot of these sites out there that are tracking the kids and giving them this opportunity. And the combine, me and BTC looked at each other like, that's so awesome. I mean, do they have to do they get timed how quick they can get in the bass boat from the ground? How quick you can launch your boat? Do they run the 40? What else is going on at that combine?
Yeah, they didn't have that last year, and actually the weather affected us last year. They wanted the coaches to be able to spend 15 minutes in a boat with the anglers that you wanted to reach out to. They ended up having just a casting contest where they would sit on the front deck of a boat and pitch at targets, set up. So I can kind of look and see how an angler casts and, their technique and how they did. And I can see if they know what they're doing, if they can present their bait, where it needs to be presented. They had a long distance casting contest, knot tying contest to see how the strength of your knots held up. And then it just gives you a chance to sit down with each angler, for 15, 20 minutes and discuss your program, what you can offer, the scholarships that we offer, the different tournaments we've won, the success we've had, and talk about our campus and just tell them about the school. And then it gets me a chance to learn about them and the tournament successes they've had, their accomplishments, things like that. So pretty cool.
Yeah. Opportunity to really get to know the kids. I think I might have a contest quickest like untying a backlash. that would be
yes.
That would be good.
Picking backlash.
Yes. That would
be. During that casting contest it was timed too, so there's a few of them there picking out their backlashes as fast as they could. But yeah.
Man, I want to see video of that. I'd watch the combine. I would watch that live for sure. That's pretty cool. But you said something that's
before we move on, Pete. Electronics? Do you weigh electronics on the combine? They're knowledge.
They didn't on the combine, but when I visit with anglers, I kind of get a feel for the experience they've had. And you know what? These young anglers, at least the level of anglers that I'm looking for now to come to Drury to fish with us, they're skilled in electronics. They've grown up around iPhones and video games and cell phones. And kind of us old timers, we were, a little intimidated a little slow to learn with the new forward facing technology. I've been running it 5 years, but these kids, they teach me. They're better at it than I am. So the level of anglers that I'm looking for, they're skilled in that. I don't have to teach them, much on electronics and even fishing. And they have the ability to cast and get their baits where they need to. They're versatile. So we'll, before a tournament, we'll have kind of a team meeting and go over the body of water that we're going to be fishing. I'm fortunate in my previous life managing the pro team at Bass Pro and White River. I'm able to bring in anglers like Rick Clunn and Brian Snowden and Casey Scanlon and James Watson and have them come up and talk to our kids before a tournament. Of course, we don't do anything once it goes off limits, but I'll use those pros and my relationship with them from the past to our advantage. And how cool is it for a freshman to come here and have Rick Clunn come and talk to him about fishing and answer any questions they have, So I try to use that to my advantage as well.
I want to go to Drury so Rick Clunn can teach me.
Yes.
No doubt.
I could Cody
just,
Huff.
I could listen to him talk for hours on end, and the kids have a lot of questions for him and everything. So
that's terrific. And you said that you have a long history in this sport. It's been quite a career working in from managing the pro staff and all the other components. It's interesting how now you're here as a coach. Take us through that. What made you decide that this was going to be the direction that you wanted to go?
Yeah, I was approached in 2015 by the athletic director here at Drury. You guys may know Charlie Campbell, the legendary Charlie Campbell.
I had the privilege,
Mr. Zara Spook.
I had the privilege of fishing with him one day about 20 years ago. Great man.
Right. Anyway, Charlie was a Drury alum, and I've known Charlie for years. He's known my dad for years. And Charlie recommended Drury as college fishing was growing, Drury wanted to, jump on board and develop a program. They had a very small program that was run by some of the students, and it just didn't really take off. So they approached me with an idea of coaching part-time, and I thought about it, and I thought, that'd be pretty cool and pretty fun to do. And neither one of us at the time in 2015 knew how college fishing was gonna take off, and I accepted it, but was still working full time and managing our pro staff, and I would go to some of the early tournaments, and I wasn't able to recruit any anglers at that time. I just had to use anglers that were already going to Drury that liked to fish, but there's only 2 of them that even had boats and had ever fished a tournament before. So we were not very good the first few years. And then as I was able to recruit over time, we finished in the top 10 the last 3 years. We finished 8th, 7th, and then last year 6th in school of the year, which was kind of your national ranking for college fishing. We won in 2021. We won the Major League Fishing National Championship, and then this year we had 3 major wins: 1 Bassmaster and 2 MLFs. So college fishing is just taken off, and we're having the success now at Drury that I'm pretty proud of. And I jumped around a little bit there, but to answer your question, I did this part-time for a few years, and as it grew, I was going to tournaments all the time. It almost turned into 2 full-time jobs for me. And Bass Pro and my boss at the time, he was very understanding and let me travel to these tournaments quite a bit. But I could see that it was going to grow to where it really became a full-time position. And I had been with Bass Pro and White River for 37 years. I've done pretty much everything I could do within the company, and I really loved working with these kids and their families, and it was just something that was very fun for me. And of course, COVID hit, and we had to make some adjustments on our pro team, and I was making some phone calls that I, were really kind of uncomfortable and making some adjustments to our team. So they approached me, Drury, with, what would it take to get you to do this full time? And we came to terms, and I went to Johnny Morris and I said, Johnny, I've been here 37 years. I think it's time for me to retire. I'd really love to do this full time at Drury. And Drury's actually Johnny's alma mater. Johnny Morris's alma mater. So he was all on board with it and said, yep, I understand. Your dad would be proud of you for going over there and working with these kids. So I did that, retired in January of 2021, and now I'm doing this full time. I never thought in a million years one day I'd grow up to be a full-time bass fishing coach. It's unbelievable. So how this has grown.
Wow. So with Johnny Morris involved, I'm assuming that the bass fishing coach's salary is equivalent with the football salaries in that $10-20 million range.
Not quite. Yeah.
No, it's that's a fantastic story, and it's awesome that you're involved in helping the kids and their families. It's really, really cool to see. I want to change topic. Before I do, I want to throw it to the IM board. I know we've got a lot of people watching and interested in college fishing. Rich, what do we got for Rick?
Yeah, so the first question we're going to go with is from Drew Barry, and Drew Barry wants to know: do the schools or the athletes provide the boats and the equipment?
Very good question. At Drury, we do not have team boats at this time. It's something that I'm working on, and I'm hoping in the very near future we can have a few team boats to use. But some schools do have team boats. I wish we had the budget to do that here at Drury, but we don't. So, yeah, the angler's responsible. One of the two team members, they fish as two-person teams. One of the two team members has to have access to a boat. And, it's amazing. I tell our athletic director, we're the most expensive college sport you can participate in. We've got $75,000, $80,000 plus bass boats and 50,000 plus vehicles and $200 rods and reels, $10 baits we're using. So it's an expensive sport, and I am constantly raising money, fundraising to allow our teams to travel. Of course, gas prices, as you can imagine, have really impacted our budget. We'll take 4 to 6 teams to every event, and they're anywhere from 2 to 4 days with 5 days with practice. We try to practice 1, 2, 3 days if we can on the lake before the event, and then the events are 1 to 2 days. So we may be gone 4 or 5 days from school, and college fishing is also one of probably the hardest sport to compete in and still keep up with your schoolwork. These kids, they're dedicated. I mean, they work their butt off, not only participating in the events, but making up their schoolwork. And I'm really proud of them. A majority of them end up making the dean's list. And it's not an easy sport to compete in college. So, and one thing college fishing has done is it's making these high school anglers that maybe didn't take school very serious and fished all the time, and now they want to fish at the next level and fish in college. So they understand that they have to study in high school and do good on tests and have a high GPA and do well on the ACT to come to college and qualify for to be admitted. So it's been great. It's helped kids that probably wouldn't have went to college now go to college and get their education. It's really a great thing.
Excellent. It sure seems like it. You're sending 4 to 6 teams. Are there teams that is there a varsity and a JV? Do guys have to compete to be in the top spot?
We do now. When I only had 8 to 12 anglers, we didn't have to have qualifying tournaments. Now when I've got 30 coming in, we're going to have some qualifying tournaments to rank our anglers.
Wow.
And naturally you want to send your better anglers to the top tournaments. But let's say if they don't make our top 6, we have tournaments. There's usually a Major League Fishing around on Table Rock and Lake of the Ozarks. Kentucky Lake, there's a tournament. It's not too far away for us. There's tournaments in Arkansas. So if they don't make the top 4 to 6 and fish every event, then they're still going to get to fish 5 or 6 events around here. So, and then if I'm recruiting an angler that's, say, from Texas, and he may not make the top 6, but there's a tournament in Texas, obviously I'm going to take him, especially if it's, his home water. So I'm trying to recruit anglers from all across the country that, diversify and have experience on different lakes, not just on, the lakes here in Missouri.
Yeah, that's I could see that being a big benefit because, yeah, you're eventually going to have to compete on smallmouth water, so you're going to want some kids that have done that before on your team.
Absolutely. I've been fortunate to recruit a few anglers up in Wisconsin that have some experience on some of the Great Lakes. When we went up to Saginaw Bay and St. Lawrence, our guys were like, this looks like an ocean. Where do we start?
Yep.
So we haven't done as great up there. And the hardest part about college fishing coming from high school is high school anglers have a boat captain that operates the boat. And
right.
Depending on the state, sometimes they can give them advice, sometimes they can't. So these kids now are coming in and they have to tow the boat to the events. Sometimes we'll travel 12 hours to an event plus, learn to back the trailer, operate the boat, operate the trolling motor, find the fish on their own. The most difficult part is going to these lakes that they've never fished and finding fish on their own. And, we have limited practice days. We can't miss too much school. So, that's a big difference between high school and college is the college angler has to provide the boat, find the fish on their own, operate the boat, and it's all on them. You can't rely on a boat captain any longer.
Yeah, that you just said something right there, Coach. Backing the boat in, that should be in the combine too.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
bass guys generally don't have issues with that, but
the level of anglers I'm bringing in now, they've been fishing on their own and local tournaments since they're 14, 15. And, these guys, they fish. The great thing about college fishing is it's a club sport. It's non-NCAA sport. So they can fish non-collegiate tournaments on weekends and win money. We can have sponsored logos on our jerseys. That helps us recruit sponsors and help pay for our expenses. So the school budget provides for about half of our traveling expenses. So I'm raising $50,000 to $75,000 on my own just to keep these anglers fishing. So
wow. Do you address things like water rights? Dealing with dock owners, things like that.
We do talk about that. I want, these guys are representing our school, and I try to teach them sportsmanship and behave properly on the water. If they try not to have a run-in with another angler, and just the, a lot of them know that anyway, just because they've had a lot of tournament experience. But, it's trying to teach them the proper way to represent your school. We definitely have those conversations.
What about dealing with stuff like on water maintenance? Like, these guys are traveling across the country for the first time, like how to swap out your hubs, how to swap out your bearings. Like, what do you do if your trolling motor cables break on the water? Like,
when your trolling motor cables break on the water.
Yeah.
Like, does that
exactly.
go into the recruiting process, or like is that part of like some of the stuff you guys do as far as like the training? Or I'm just curious about that.
Not necessarily on the recruiting process. I do try to bring in anglers that may have a late model boat. And that's a challenge. It really is. You go to an elite event or an MLF event, there's a service crew there and they work on the boats, and those guys break down and,
right.
They're fishing an hour later, or, there's a backup boat or whatever. we do not have that in the college circuits. In fact, the college circuits, that's probably the circuit that needs the service crew the most. Of course, the elite anglers get the most exposure, and that in my previous life, I understand that fully, but I'm trying to convince some of the motor companies and boat companies to send a service crew, to the college events. But we're, almost every tournament that we travel, a long distance, we're going to have a trailer flat or a, vehicle flat. I bought, an impact driver and a little ramp we can pull our dual axle trailers up, and we carry spare props. Some of the kids carry spare trolling motors, things like that. So
you're not only just coaching, you're also like the kind of the on the road mechanic. Like you're wearing a lot of
bit.
hats.
I'm not the greatest mechanic there is, but I kind of as a college coach, I joke that we're a travel agent, we're an accountant, we're a cook, we're a babysitter, we're a mechanic, we're a motivator. So we're all that combined into one. So it's definitely different, but I tell you, it's a lot of fun and I really enjoy it.
I highly recommend recruiting a mechanic on your recruiting class. We always did it in our bass club. We always had one guy in our club, and he was priceless because, like Rich, he can weld. A guy that can do electronics, a guy that can fix anything. What a priceless priceless guy that is to have on your team of any kind.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, one of my graduating seniors from this last class, he was kind of our traveling mechanic. He carried a spare lower unit, and of course I carried some props and stuff, but he works actually at a boat dealership, and I told him, hey, I can't pay you much, but if you want to travel around and be our team mechanic, the offer's there for you. So, but
that's awesome.
Yeah, you're right. It definitely pays to have, someone that has that boat experience, because, everything breaks down, especially when we go to, some of these big water events.
No doubt.
It's hard on your equipment, and believe it or not, these kids think they're bulletproof and fearless, and run wide open, over 4 and 5 footers. So I try to talk some sense into them as that goes. But you know how we were when we were 18 to 22.
You're absolutely right. That's advice I give all the time: is you got to back off the throttle just a little bit, because it's the most important thing. Is you need to arrive at your fishing destination with trolling motor still attached, with sonar still attached, and rods that aren't broken. So,
absolutely, and then you've got to make it back too.
You've got to make it back too. That's BTC, correct. What do you got?
Just a couple shout outs on the message board. We got Bass Finder GI from Mexico saying what's up. Coach Gills, Wabash Valley head coach of their fishing team, says go Coach Rick. And a question from Jonathan Smith. How do walk-ons work?
We have academic scholarships as well as bass fishing scholarships. So Drury is very one of the top academics, small colleges in the country. We usually rank in the top 25. So we require a minimum GPA and ACT to be admitted to Drury. So if you've got the GPA and the ACT to get your academic scholarship, you can walk on, and if you prove yourself, and I can throw in a little bit, in the following year on the bass fishing side. There's not full ride bass fishing scholarships. I know you guys kind of joked about that earlier. That we would give the winner of the contest a full ride.
There it is, folks. You heard it.
Thank you, Rick. We didn't agree to that, but no, it's there's usually the academic scholarship is the largest portion of your scholarship, and then we can throw in a few thousand on top of that to help out with books and some other expenses. A great thing about our program, and the reason I have to raise so much money, is if an angler comes here to fish, we're going to pay his boat gas, his vehicle gas, gas in practice, lodging, food. We pay every expense to travel to these tournaments, because if a kid had to pay out of his pocket, it's going to be $1,000 a tournament out of his own pocket, and we'll fish 20, 25 tournaments a year. There's 3 different collegiate circuits, and they each have 3 to 4 events plus a national championship. So in theory, you could win 3 national championships, collegiate national championships in a year. The title you really strive for is School of the Year. So all of those 3 different circuits events feed into a point system for School of the Year event and School of the Year Team of the Year, and that's your kind of your national ranking. So it benefits you to fish as many tournaments as your school will allow you to fish, so you can earn those points and have a high ranking for School of the Year.
Let me ask you this. I want to dive in a little bit on the fishing part because that's what we do at Bass University. Obviously, is we have the best instructors in the world teaching about what they're really good at. How are you practicing the kids? I was an athlete through high school, a little bit into college. We went to practices, right? And we did drilling. We went out and competed in matches. How are you formatting that? Do you go out? All right, we're gonna learn about a jig today, or I have no idea how you might cultivate a practice session for the kids. What does that look like?
Yeah, our sport is completely different. So, the basketball team practices every day on a basketball court. We can't practice every day on the lake, but our guys, anytime they're on the water, they're practicing. They're gaining experience. So if they're fishing a tournament on their own on a weekend, if 2 of them go after class and practice and just fish, anytime they're on the water, they're practicing and learning. So we will have some team qualifiers and practices where we're on the water together. We'll have some team meetings where we'll talk about strategy on the upcoming lake. I'll have pitching contests where they'll pitch a jig into a bucket and I'll give the winner, a reel or something like that. So, we don't have designated practices every day like some of the other sports do, but these guys are fishing, like I say, on their own and on weekends. So when we're not on the water together and they're on the water, they're still practicing. So they're getting experience all the time. And these kids coming in, like I say, when we first started, they didn't really necessarily have the skills and the experience, but the kids I'm recruiting now, they fished high school tournaments for 4 years. They fish tournaments on their own. Some of these guys are better than me, and they know all the, the newer techniques that, some of us old timers, I can teach them some of the older techniques, and some of these kids aren't real strong on pitching and flipping. And, but, a lot of them are really good at live scope, but I tell them,
right,
you can't rely on that live scope 100% of the time. You still have to beat the bank sometimes. And, depending on the lake we're fishing, the time of year, they have the experience. They know seasonal patterns. They know what to look for. So I don't really have to teach them a lot. It's more of just getting together and, planning a strategy for the lake we're going to fish if they've never fished it before. And I'll try to get as much information as I can. Of course, they're good at Google Maps and, all the resources they have now that we didn't have growing up. We had Bassmaster Magazine, but they've got YouTube and Google Maps and all these resources to find information. They can, if we have a tournament on Lake Guntersville, they can YouTube, 15 tournaments on Lake Guntersville and how they were won and where they were, the winner was fishing. And so they've got all those tools available to them now that in the past, we never had.
This is true.
How about are these events, they're multi-day tournaments? Are they one-day events in college?
Depends on the circuit. Most of the major league fishing events are one day, and they're actually divided into conferences too. So the other 2 circuits, they're not conferences. So we'll fish against schools from all across the country. And most of the Bassmaster and the ACA collegiate events are 2-day events. Major League Fishing is usually a 1-day event, except the national championships are multi-day events. And then MLF actually has an open that's a 2-day event. So most of the tournaments are 2-day events. Even the championships go sometimes into 3 days. So
the kids will go out and practice, and I'm assuming, I guess you collect information as their practices went and try to help them tool a strategy on how to compete. I guess that's the process.
No,
no.
The thing that's different about collegiate fishing than any other sport is once the event starts, once practice starts, a coach cannot help and offer advice.
What?
And they want the kids to find, and I call them kids. They're 18 to 22-year-old men, but I'm 60, so I'm still calling them kids. But they want them to find the fish on their own. They don't want a coach that maybe, is a guide on that particular body of water to help them. Of course, before it goes off limits, we can give advice. But once the event starts, practice starts, the event starts, I can't give them any advice. I can't talk about the lake. I can't be on the water. They don't want parents on the water. There's been some instances in the past as college fishing has grown where a coach was out hole sitting or a parent was out hole sitting. So they don't want coaches or parents on the water or giving advice at all. So that's a little bit challenging and kind of frustrating, but I do understand why. They don't want the coach to be able to give advice and help them find fish. They want the kids to find them. And if they're going to fish at the next level, they're going to have to do that on their own anyway. Yep. The majority of the kids that I'm bringing in to Drury want to fish at the next level, or they want to be in the fishing industry. And I can open some doors for them just with my past life and past experience and contacts. So, they're coming to Drury to get their education first and foremost, but also, to learn to fish at the next level, and finding fish on their own is a big part of it. A great thing about Drury here at Springfield, Missouri, we've got Table Rock, Bull Shoals, Grand Lake, Lake of the Ozarks, Stockton. We've got 5 or 6 bodies of water they're probably going to fish at some point at the next level. So, we've got some anglers that are maybe from up north or down south that want to come up here and fish those bodies of water, knowing that, they're going to fish Table Rock or Bull Shoals, in a Bassmaster or MLF event at some point.
Sure. And it's shocking to me. I mean, I thought the coaches would be, rolling up their sleeves and saying, okay, we got 5 bites on a jig today. Let's the guys that didn't get bites today with a crankbait, we're going to move that team into flipping and pitching because that's the dominant bite, and retooling how they're competing. But that's all got to be done by the kids. That's I didn't realize that that's how it took place. I can see what you're talking about because there could be abuses taking place, certainly, and I think they just want to keep it that way. But
it's happened over the years, and now the guys after practice, they'll talk amongst each other, and I highly encourage that. I don't expect them to share waypoints or exact techniques or parts of the lake, but I want them to share general information with each other. And if you can't, if you haven't fished a body of water, and these younger anglers go for the first time, it's hard to dissect a big body of water, in just 2 or 3 days of practice. So, I encourage them to fish different parts of the lake and share the information with each other. And, that's been a challenge at some point. These kids want to be the team that finishes the best within the school. But the way the scoring system works, your top 2-person teams points count towards, the school of the year points. So it benefits us as the school to share information and help each other out because that's going to affect our national ranking. It's not just one 2-person team that counts. It's 2 2-person teams. So Some of the guys share information. It's been a challenge on some over the years, and but they can talk amongst each other and help each other.
Yep. The carpenter lies and will not divulge any information.
How dare you, Peter?
So
well, I've actually
that is a misdirection, sir.
I ran into that with one team giving bogus information because they wanted to be the team that won and not anyone come in on their water. So that didn't go over very well with me.
Yep, that's a veteran.
We nipped that in the bud.
Veteran move.
Yeah.
That is the worst. It's like it's egregious to not share, but to give bogus information like the wrong stuff out. That's just the worst.
Because once that happens, you're burnt.
Yeah, you're burnt.
Like you're absolutely smoked. Nobody's going to work with you anymore. And like it does like having a small group of people that like you can honestly talk to and know that they know you're giving them the truth and you know they're giving you the truth back. You can break down a body of water literally. If there's 2 guys on each boat and you got 6 guys on the water, you're breaking it down 6 times faster. If it's just 3 guys, it's 3 times faster. And it's like you said, it doesn't have to be specific waypoints, but it can be just general information, like, because we all know it's like you need a starting point, right, Pete? Like you say it all the time, like, let me just get a sniff of the pattern, right, to get going. So, it's good that these guys you're coaching are working together, and it definitely does. It helps the collective. It's not just, an individual will usually kind of come out on top, but the group as a whole generally does better because of it. So,
absolutely. And these guys are, they're friends. They hang out together, after class and go to lunch together and fish on weekends together. So, they're pretty tight knit group. You get 20, 30 kids together. There may be some jealousy here and there amongst guys that are doing a little bit better than others. But, I really am anxious this year to preach teamwork, especially to these 18 incoming freshmen. And I'm just very excited about kind of getting a fresh look. And of course, we've got some great returning anglers as well. But to see these guys, kind of start from scratch and see how they grow over the years, that's the most rewarding part of this job. I'm nervous as can be during the weigh-ins. It's just like these kids, these guys are my own, children, and I'm a parent, and I'm just, excited. I'm more excited, I think, than some of their parents are about, the weigh-ins and how we do. So it's, it's really fun. I don't really even look at this as a job. I'm just blessed to have the opportunity to do this.
Speaking of the parents, we got a question on the board from Scott Frogman Carlisle, and he wants to know, do the families, the moms and the dads, follow the team around to help support during events?
We have a freeze up.
They do or drive.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. Hear me?
Yeah, we lost you. You froze up for just a moment, but you're back.
Okay. It depends on where the event is. Like if it's a 16-hour drive, these parents probably aren't going to drive down there. But if it's a national championship, a lot of the parents do drive down. If it's 2, 3, 4 hours, a lot of the parents come to the events. They want to see the weigh-in. They may offer to buy the team dinner that night or cook to help us out. So and then we have a lot of fundraisers, and I've actually I got to do a plug in here right now. We're having a fundraiser going on now where we're selling raffle tickets to win a $26,000 tracker boat.
Oh, heck
so the parents are buying the raffle tickets and helping with our fundraisers, and that's how they can help support is financially and offering to buy dinner one night that helps our budget. So yeah, we do get that, and a lot of support from the kids' parents.
Well, we'll take that plug to the next level. People watching wanna buy a ticket and support the cause. How can they do that?
They can go to my Facebook page, Rick Emmitt on Facebook. They can email me at remmitt@drury.edu. or they can text me at 417-860-2303. I accept PayPal, Venmo, cash or check. But if you want to, you don't have to be present to win. We'll have the drawing on Facebook Live in December. But you can PayPal or Venmo me. I'll fill out your ticket stubs, take a picture of them, and text them back to you. So, it's real easy. One ticket's $50. You can buy 3 tickets for $100. So, $50 for a chance to win a $26,000 boat. We're also giving away 4 other prizes: an Ascend kayak, fishing trip, full day guided trip with Brian Snowden, Edwin Evers autographed jersey, $250 Bass Pro gift card. So for $50 or 3 for $100, it's a great opportunity to help Drury with our travel expenses and have a good chance to win a great prize.
Yeah, that's amazing. I bet you even accept Bitcoin over there.
We do. Well, no, we don't. I thought you said big coin at first, but it's just in cash. Not Bitcoin yet, but that's too advanced for my skill level.
Well, that's great. That's a great great program, and I just want to offer you as a coach and all the coaches to take advantage of the Bass University library. We have an amazing tutorial over there that we want to get into the hands of a lot of the coaches. So I'm going to talk to you about that off the air, and we'll see what we can do to help you guys out and work with your college out there through the Bass University, make it a lot easier for you to be able to teach some of these lessons to the kids from some of the greatest anglers on the planet, other than those ones that you have in your back pocket.
Yeah, exactly. And I do. A lot of our guys get on there anyway on their own, and I look at some of the different techniques, and I think absolutely let's visit about that, because you can't get too much information on bass fishing, and baits and techniques are constantly evolving, and absolutely let's have a visit for sure.
Yeah, and then you can hand out assignments, like guys have to watch these seminars, and then on Monday morning give them a test and make it suck.
You bet. I don't want to give them too much study on top of their school they're making up right now as we travel. But yeah, absolutely, that's a great idea.
Kids that are what's advice for a kid that's a high schooler wants to attend Drury or another school? What's a big piece of advice for a kid that wants to get on a fishing team like yours?
Yeah, I kind of mentioned it earlier. Go fish as many tournaments as you can. Operate the boat yourself. Don't have your dad or a boat captain operate the boat. Learn to find fish yourselves. These college coaches are not looking for anglers that just like to fish. This is not a college fishing class that I'm teaching you how to fish. This is a competitive team, just like the basketball team or the football team. So the better anglers are traveling to the tournaments. We don't want to send, our B team, so to speak, to events. We want to send our best anglers. So if you want to be one of the best anglers and get attention, from college coaches, get your name out there, promote yourself on social media, develop a fishing page, post your results there. Social media is the way to go and get attention anymore. Used to be, just winning tournaments and those guys got all the, the publicity. Now it's right. You don't even have to be a great angler as long as you have a good, promotion for your sponsors. And that's what we look for. We have a lot of sponsors also that we promote. And like I say, it's a non-NCAA sport, so we can have sponsors on our jerseys. And I try to teach these kids when they're up on stage to, communicate, represent your sponsors. If you're asked, how did you catch your fish? Don't say on a hook. Elaborate and, give some good information. I encourage them to either, take some marketing classes or major in marketing so you understand marketing. And if you want to be at the next level. That's going to help you there. But, that's kind of is going to help you attract attention to the college coaches out there. Just fish as much as you can, as many tournaments as you can. Even if you don't have a high school circuit in your state, fish some BFLs, some of your bigger, team circuits in your area. Fish as much as you can. Get as much of a resume built up as you can, because that's going to attract the attention.
Well, it's great advice, and it's a great program. Congratulations on your success in the last couple of years, and man, we'll look forward to following you, seeing that success continue.
Well, I appreciate that, and thanks so much for having me on, and have me on anytime. Look forward to visiting with you at any time.
Man, we'd love to. We'll have a coaches. We're going to have a coaches update, coaches shows as we go through the year. We love the college program, and we'll catch up with you down the road as you're knee deep in fishing season.
That sounds great. Maybe we can get a couple of our anglers on even.
That would be fantastic. Let's plan on that.
Let's let them get a win. Get that win, Coach.
Absolutely.
Get them dubs.
You bet.
All right, and we would like to advise the Combine Committee, so have them call us.
Yes.
We want to put some tests out there. I want to attend that, for crying out loud. I want to go and see this going on. That sounds like fun.
I think I recruited 5 or 6 anglers from it last year.
No kidding.
And have a few juniors or seniors to be for next season. So yeah, it's definitely. I unfortunately can't be there this year, which I hate, because some of your top anglers around the country will be going to that. So some of these other coaches are going to have a heads up on me this year. I know Todd will be going and recruiting. So he said he was tuning in. So
yes.
Todd, don't recruit everyone now.
I love it. I can see a forward-facing sonar thing where the least amount of casts to be able to hit a rock at 50 feet and 10 feet of water, with that drop shot. You got to make it land on that rock.
Right.
In the fewest amount of casts off your sonar. That would be great to watch. So many cool tests that you could put out there. But well, hey, Rick, it was great having you on the show.
How to backboat your co-anglers.
No, that's not a good
team event.
Well,
we don't want to teach that.
No,
it's important.
We're all about sportsmanship. Brian would teach you how to fire back at the dock owner somehow.
That's what I was thinking.
I don't see Brian's future as a collegiate coach.
Nope. No.
But he would give the coaches good examples.
Yeah, of a bad example
to work with.
What not to do?
Yeah,
that's right. It's just as important. You know that,
Coach. Rick Emmitt, coach of Drury University, Springfield, Missouri. Thanks so much, buddy. Appreciate you being with us.
Yeah.
You bet. Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
Thank you,
you
sir.
too, bud. Enjoyed it.
That was cool. Man, so much that I didn't know about. Like, I was shocked at the fact that the coaches can't coach during competition.
Yeah, I was too, because, even at, collegiate levels and professional levels and in all sports, it's like, yeah, the players are in competition. They're in the game. They have to perform themselves. Like, they have to make it happen themselves. But they got a coach with a headset on. They're coming off the field. They're talking. They're
through things.
They're coaching, right? I think that there may be a way for the college fishing ranks to maybe adjust that a little bit so that coaches aren't manipulating the rules too much for their team's advantage, and also maybe a way to keep parents off the water to where they're not protecting holes or hole jump or whatever. They definitely got a good thing going over there, though. Yeah. So I don't want it to sound like I'm knocking them, but there is some real benefit to having somebody that you can talk to during an event, during a practice, during
they got their partner
after.
Right.
Yeah, but like tennis is one that you can't coach during the event. Like the pro tennis players, they can't accept any coach.
They can't say hit the ball.
No.
Hit it again.
No, they can't do any of that.
Keep hitting the ball.
And they get fined because they're always looking at their coaches in the stands, and the coach might give hand signals or something.
What the heck would you coach?
Well, if the guy's susceptible to a serve to the backhand,
okay,
and the coach recognizes that, the player might not see it while it's live.
Well, why?
And
I don't understand why you're not allowed to do that in tennis. Like,
I don't understand either.
Yeah.
I think they should be able to, but it's
Right.
been a rule in professional tennis forever.
Yeah, a long time.
Is there a lot of spin, a lot of top spin, back spin that plays in tennis?
Yeah, they're all the time. Certain
But it's
certain
just
players
like
can't hit a certain shot.
It's just
They
like
have a
having
weakness.
it's just like having a coach in the grandstand watching the offensive line that says, the right tackle's back step is weak on the right side. Like
Attack it.
Yeah,
Attack it.
But
during the competition, I can even see that. But when they get off the water from practice,
But they might have doc talk. The coaches may have picked up on doc talk and different things like that.
Yeah.
May know where guys were, competition was on the water and what they were doing.
So
I think
it's so hard with fishing.
You got to block that out.
I think
somehow.
you got to. I like that I kind of like where it's set up. I like that the kids have to bond and figure it on their own.
Right.
Yeah.
True.
You gave them the tools.
Yep.
Now let them get them out there.
And go.
Yeah.
And then we'll recap after the event.
Yeah.
I get it. The combine was fascinating. I'm like, that's
really cool.
That is so cool, man.
That's really cool.
Like, think about all the things you could do, like all the events or all the
Yeah, it's wild.
I think I would like to
Information gathering.
Yeah.
Who can? You got an hour. Come back with as many blue dots.
Yeah.
Waypoints.
Find all the answers to Ken Duke's trivia questions. Who can get them there the fastest? But it would be so fun to have them run a 40.
Yeah.
Have them do a vertical leap. I don't know. Just for fun.
Yeah, for fun. Yeah. I was thinking more along the lines of like who can replace a rod tip the fastest.
Yeah. Boat flip a brick.
Yeah.
Or cinder block.
Yeah, on dry land, so there's absolutely no help whatsoever. Oh my God.
Stand on one leg, on your trolling motor, in heavy wave action.
Serious. That's a good one.
Yeah.
How to stay on the front deck on the trolling motor and
maintain position.
Yep. The sea leg champ.
Yeah, there's that's a lot of stuff we could go get into. But so much fun, such cool stuff. Guys, this is a lot of guys are buying and selling boats right now. I want you to check out bassboatforsale.com. It's a great place to list your boat if you're selling, if you're getting ready for deer season, you want to put your boat up for sale and get ready for your new one. Great place to list your boat. If you're a buyer, you're a seller, it's the place to go, bassboatforsale.com. Go check that out. If you're watching over on Facebook, don't forget we've got a really cool Facebook like and share contest going on. We're giving out a subscription to Bass U.
Yeah, 6 month gift card.
6 month gift card, $89 value. Go check it out. Do that right now. Like it, share it, and do that deal. And we've got a question that we're our grand prize trivia type question. We're going to be asking you shortly. Going to win all this cool Rapala stuff. It includes an Aqua-Vu hat in addition to the Rapala stuff. I see some Tokyo rig stuff over there. I see some Rapalas. I see Demon Color. I see DT6s.
Oh, yeah.
Good stuff. And, I just want to – we did a great interview with Hobie, which is going to be hitting pretty soon. But Hobie Eyewear, we love their sunglasses, especially those that float, because some of us need that.
Yep. I think we all need that.
Yeah.
Everybody lost glasses.
Yeah, super light, super fantastic lenses. The Sightmaster Plus is an amazing lens that I use a lot. So many different style frames.
Love them. They're so comfortable.
Super comfortable. They're great to run in, which I love. The contours fit my face perfectly, so when I'm running at 70, it blocks the wind nicely. Yeah. And you don't get that fatigue on your ears because they're so heavy. Like a heavy pair of glasses when you're wearing it 12 hours a day has done to me lots of times. Hobie don't. They're perfectly comfortable, great lenses. We love our Hobie eyewear. Appreciate them.
I don't have that problem.
Sunglass fatigue?
Yeah.
You don't ever get that?
I don't stretch them out like you Polacks do with your giant heads.
It's not that. It's like the heavy ones, they weigh down on like my ear. They just, on my nose and my ear, they just weigh down after a while.
Yeah. Glasses look like that.
Well, you got to have all that room for that big brain.
Yeah, that's right.
You know?
We got a new subscriber on the board for this show, Dewberry. Dewberry was a new subscriber.
Welcome.
For watching his first Bash U Live show. Thanks for watching with us, bud.
Thanks.
Right on.
Thanks for watching. We've got a lot of great stuff. I think we're releasing West Logan this week.
We are.
Speaking of which, every week at Bash
River
University, we've got a new content, new training courses from the best anglers on the planet. This week is West Logan's River class, which is he's the man. Especially concentrating on river bank grass, shallow style, current-based stuff.
Yep.
Man, this is the stuff I love to fish.
And today we released Keith Combs, Deep Cranking. Well, we filmed down with him down at the Elite Series down in Palatka.
That's right.
Deep Cranking.
We get an opportunity to get with our pros sometimes at the elite tournaments and sometimes at Bassmaster and ICAST, and we cultivate a training class with them. And Keith Combs, the man when it comes to deep cranking, teaching, and that's released today. So.
And he's got a different, compared to today, what the advanced sonar, forward-facing sonar is done. Keith still goes about it in an old-fashioned way. Mm-hmm. So it's good to really have a good knowledge of both.
Oh, yeah.
It really is.
You know what I mean?
We talked about this a lot last week, too, Pete. We talked about how you got to have the balance of the forward-facing sonar, the advanced technology, all that stuff. But if you don't have the general fishing instinct to fall back on, it really doesn't matter.
You're not going to know where to point that sonar.
Exactly.
And I think that's where the experience will rise to the top, is knowing where to look. But I will say this. I was watching guys, speaking of cranking, they were finding groups of fish on Cayuga at this MLF tournament. And they get crazy eyes if you've ever fished there. Those fish will get real aggressive and chomp, and then they stop.
Yep.
But they're still there. And you could see them at times, but with they were blasting crankbaits through those schools and triggering strikes.
Cool.
Which was,
were they suspended?
They were bottom oriented, definitely bottom oriented, but they weren't.
But not around grass.
They were around isolated grass. They were out off. They were isolated, like slight breaks,
and they
slight
were able
rocks.
to get the crankbaits through that grass up there.
Yeah, you'll see them ripping out.
That's good to see.
It.
Because we haven't seen that in a while. You know what I mean? Like, thank God it's not another drop shot tournament.
Yeah, well, it is. It is, they're mixing it up.
Right.
The guys that are doing good are mixing it up. They're throwing a chat. You know what was so shocking to me?
What was that?
No dock fishing.
Really?
Of the top guys. And Cayuga is like the best dock lake on the planet. And I saw Dudley fishing docks, an occasional guy on camera, but none of the guys that were in the top who had the cameras on them were up there on the bank fishing docks. It's like the whole population of fish is out.
Most of the guys up on the north end?
Mostly.
Yeah.
Smallmouth played a big role. I think Cannell
are coming on strong.
Was on a lot of guys were. Michael Neal was mixing a lot of smallmouth into his stuff. And and the guys were commenting, JT and the guys were commenting about how Michael Neal and Jacob Wheeler seem to be the next level when it comes to using forward-facing sonar. Like everybody's getting good at it, but they've taken it to the next level. Pretty cool stuff.
Yep.
And
cool.
Something else I picked up over there Real quick,
I can't wait till the fish get used to forward-facing zone.
Right?
Can't wait.
Same. I was going to tell Coach, no, don't tell them the fish docks.
Yeah.
All out deep, guys.
Yeah, they're off. Keep going deep. But you ever notice how Wheeler and a few guys are really, when they catch some smallmouth, they just don't mess around with them?
Oh, yeah.
They're just horsing them in.
Corey Johnson does the same thing. I talked with him like at length about that at iCast.
Yeah.
What'd you get out of it?
I was surprised. Well, the biggest thing I was surprised by was his setup. I always assumed that he's fishing them like that. I'm like, he's got to be throwing a 7.4, 7.6 spinning rod, 4,000 size reel. Nope, 7 foot spinning rod, 2,500 size reel. Just
stiffer rod.
It's all about the line diameter when it came to Wheeler. Like he's ramping it up on his leader material is 10, 12, sometimes 16, 15 pound test leader. And that's what just allows them to crank them down efficiently.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of guys with the 6 pound test, it takes them 5 minutes to land a fish.
Yeah.
And if you can make them bite it, obviously the heavier line's better.
Yeah. Agreed.
What do you got, BTC?
I was going to hit our trivia question. I think now's a good time for that. All right, so if you guys watched Ike Live this past Saturday night, you got a distinct advantage here. It was a blast of a show, by the way. Our last segment, we had 2 kids on that recently won the Bassmaster Collegiate Team of the Year. That was Louis Minetti and Michael Fugaro. What boat, year, and model did they win that title in? It's pretty significant to the story. Yep. What boat, year, and model? They win that.
Can you text that to me?
I can hand it to you.
Even better. I was bummed out I had to miss that show. I'm just coming out of my cold. Fortunately, tested COVID negative, but
Slovid?
Yeah, got some kind of bug from Lake Ontario.
We want the whole setup.
Nah, it's the boat year.
Okay, we want boat, year, and model.
Yep.
Boat, year, and model.
And then just accept the year after that, and like random numbers like the length, if it drags.
Boat, year, and model.
What? Go ahead.
How are things going, Ranger Man? Has the boat had its inaugural voyage yet?
Yeah, I picked it up, put it in the water to see. When I got it from John, it had been sitting a few years, so I took it right to Spring Garden Marina and had them. Yeah, and had them drain the fuel tank, drain the lines, just empty it all, get that gas out of there, clean the lines, and go through the. It's a Yamaha HPDI, so it's a
good motor.
Yeah, it was a good motor, very good motor, but it's a little bit older. Mm-hmm. It's got a complex fuel system, so a lot of fuel pumps. I think there's like 3 or 4 fuel pumps in that thing. So, yep.
But you took it out, got it up, got running, motor got hot, everything. Nice.
Yeah, ran great.
So did you fish out of it this weekend?
No. I still need, I've got no electronics, which it's whatever, but I got to go through the system and see what works as far as the gauges, pumps, bilge pumps, stuff like that.
Just start fishing it.
I'm with you, but
throw a trolling motor and a graph on there and just start figuring it out as you go.
Yeah. I probably will.
No working gauges?
Nah.
Just put a little gas in it before you go.
Gauges, schmages.
Do you believe this vehicle is safe for highway travel?
Heck yeah, dude. Send it.
Who knows that movie reference?
Nobody. Oh, in the Facebook like and share, Rich, you on that one or?
Yeah, I got the Facebook like and share. Today's winner is David Verzuela. Congratulations, David Verzuela. You are today's Bass University Live Facebook like and share winner. Congratulations. You won yourself a 6-month Bass U TV gift card.
Totally rad.
Congrats. Thanks for watching.
And awesome.
Rich, while we're waiting, do you want to ask that question again?
Richard?
Hit it again. So we are looking for right now, this past weekend on Ike Live, we had the winners of the College Series Bassmaster Team of the Year. What did they ride to victory in we need the boat, the year, and the model. Boat, year, and model on the board, and you will be the winner of our awesome prize pack.
David Zhang on Facebook, who I hung out with down at ICAST and afterwards at Bienville. He's close, but
he's close.
Talk to me about the flats. You had some.
Yeah, Rich, give us everything.
What happened down to the flats? You said it was tough.
The Upper Chesapeake Bay turned a little tough.
Did she turn?
Turned a little tough. You know, as
you knew it was coming.
As you can expect, water temp is about 90.
90 degrees. Oh my God.
Yeah, and that's not.
That's
when
a
I was out there, it was not an exaggeration. It was 90.
Good Lord. Everybody's water is around the country. I mean, everybody's sitting at 110 degrees with this massive heat wave around the country. We're no different. But a body of water this far up north, 90 degrees, that's insane.
Yep. Things tightened up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, what was it? What event was it?
It was Casting Away Bassmasters, and
it was it a multi-day or single
day event. Took 18 to win, and
wow, that's a lower weight than we've seen in a while.
Yep, happened. Didn't have to go real far from the ramp.
Yeah. Yep.
In that cool water.
Yeah.
Is it cooler? I don't know. Maybe.
It's gotta be.
Yes. After all the rain we had, it was probably cooler.
Yeah, it can't be running 90.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the Russians are back in the on the YouTube.
Are they
spamming us? Yeah.
Cool.
But the numbers went up.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
That was good.
Well, yeah, but we got the spammer in there.
Oh. Hey, thanks for watching us over on YouTube. We appreciate you guys, and hey, you know what I want to talk about, because I'm super excited about this. We're back. We're going to the classroom in 2023, and it's been a couple years of just, oh my gosh, we try to make the arrangements and then we get shut down because of COVID restrictions, and the COVID restrictions this year got us again with our speakers because we didn't want to put them in COVID protocol going into the first tournament of the season. So
they'll invent something.
We're going to Alabama. We're going to South Carolina. Look for us in Texas.
Yeah.
We can't wait to get back to Texas again, and we're going to be talking with Tom out there at the Texas Fishing Game Group. Loved having him as a guest on the show, and we're going to be working hard to try to place a Bass University out in the Dallas area somewhere in Texas. So we look forward to seeing you guys out there and other places around the country we're looking at. But we're really excited about being live face-to-face, getting everybody, getting the pros together, getting all the fishermen together and having our Bass University classes. So really excited about that for 2023.
Yes,
Anybody
sir.
close?
We got a winner.
Oh,
Yep,
right.
just came in. Brett with a 1996 Ranger R72 Sport.
19 what?
1996.
Wow.
R72 Ranger.
It's like a 17-footer, dude.
115.
Sweet.
They had
Seats are like
Duct
19
tape.
times worse than yours.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Blue.
115 with like a 15-gallon gas tank.
Wow.
Illuminati.
Yeah.
How'd they win? What was their pattern?
One graph on the boat at the console, 1 8-inch graph, nothing up front.
Yeah.
Pretty wild, dude.
Just flipping down the bank, or
Yeah. No, you have to watch Lake Live, but
the viewers of the show appreciate you.
I drank a lot.
Coming
Forgot.
forth.
I had to listen back.
I drank through the pattern discussion.
I did. It was actually, I started listening back to it, and it was outstanding. I was one of our best ones in a while. Those kids are great.
That's awesome.
Big personalities.
Shout out to Professional Fish Head on the message board, JK.
Yeah. JK.
Good hearing from you, buddy.
Just talking to JK. JK is out doing a little scouting on Lake Erie.
Okay.
For his upcoming NPFL tournament.
Nice.
Wind must be blowing today.
I think he's home, or he's driving home.
Okay.
But, you know, we did discuss that, man, the abuse. And we were just talking about it with Coach. That big water just punishes your body. It punishes your gear, and there's just no way around it. any flaw that you have in your system will be revealed very quickly on the big water.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Boat positioning. There's another. Boat positioning, like in community holes, how to subtly bully people out of your spots.
Yeah.
And how to unsubtly bully people out of your spots.
Is that what you want to teach kids?
I think it's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going on right now. Like the guys at the MLF guys are all in, community areas. You see there's and I've seen this on that lake and other lakes before, but grass grows differently on hard spots, or sometimes you get a real dense patch of grass, and like a massive population of fish uses it.
Yep.
So you got like all guys in the cut, all around each other, strategizing on how to survive in there, how to bully, not be bullied.
For sure.
Interesting stuff. So much going on. Look for Wes Logan to be released.
Yes.
You're a river rat like me. It's going to be dropped tomorrow.
It's a good one, too.
Yes.
He comes out of the gate at 150 miles an hour. He's freaking flying.
Little ball of hate.
He's the fastest talking Alabama folk you'll ever hear. I love it.
Got subtitles below it?
Yeah.
That's funny, because you're right. We have a feature on the Bass U app and the Bass U site where if you have a really slow-talking Alabamian or wherever, you can speed it up and listen to it. But you're not going to be doing that with Wes.
Nah, he comes.
Might have to slow him down a little bit.
He comes out of the gate hot.
That's awesome.
Firing. Nah, it's a good seminar.
I love it. I'm a river rat too. So, guys, check it out. That's going to be released tomorrow. Get over to bashu.tv. Get yourself subscribed. It's an amazing time. We got a 6-month trial, 6-month subscription right now for $49. It's awesome. And then you get a $25 gift card from TackleDirect. So you can't lose. Great time to get over there. It's back to school season at Bass University. Go check it out. We're going to be we'll be back next week with another Bass University Live. And we'll keep you guys updated on what our topic and guests are going to be, but you can be sure it's going to be interesting and tied directly into making you a better bass angler. That's BTC. That's The Riz. I'm Pete Gluzak for Bass University. We'll see you next time, guys.
BassBoatForSale.com is the world's premier bass boat listings business. We focus on driving premium web traffic to our main website, business Facebook page, business Instagram, and our business YouTube channel, providing your bass boat listings the best buying traffic and top-notch exposure. Whether you need to sell your bass boat or are looking to buy a bass boat, it's simple. We give boats exposure so buyers shop and sellers list. One-time listing fee, no commission, and boats list until they sell. BassBoatForSale.com. Check it out.
Aqua-Vu, the leader in underwater viewing technology. Find what you are looking for. Catch more fish. Have more fun. Aqua-Vu. Seeing is believing.
Why do you love casting fishing rods?
I'm truly losing less fish.
Is the sensitivity of the rod.
That they're made right here in North Carolina in the USA. Strongest, lightest rod, 100% made here in Sanford, North Carolina.
From the drop shot rod to the flipping stick. Every rod has a purpose to it, and I rely on them all the time when I'm out doing a tournament.
Durability in the John Cruz Worman series, the counterbalancing in the handle.
It's the only rod I found that can withstand my hook set. Boom goes the dynamite.
On the water not spent fishing is a moment wasted. That's why Minn Kota and Humminbird have joined forces to bring you the One Boat Network. Products that communicate and integrate to help you take full command of your boat. Born from our commitment to making the most advanced fishing gear even better by making it work together, the One Boat Network will help you find, get to, stay on, and catch more fish. When One Boat Network products talk to each other, they can navigate your boat automatically. They can give you a crystal clear view of what's below with no messy wires. And they can let you lower, raise, and change shallow water anchor modes from anywhere on the boat. But that's just the beginning. We're never done innovating, integrating, and making your boat simpler and easier to control. All so you can make every second on the water count.